What's up and welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Tuesday Tips and Tricks. I'm your host, Max at WeVideo, and as always, we've got another great episode lined up for you guys today. Today, we're going to be going over something that we kind of touched on 2 weeks ago when it came to syncing audio and video. That's going to be somewhat applied in today's episode when we go over how to take just a Zoom call recording or any other video call recording and spice it up in WeVideo. Before we get started, though, shout out to everyone watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as well as hit the bell in the top right corner. This will give you a notification every time WeVideo releases a new video. We've also got our Tuesday Tips and Tricks landing page. You can go back and watch any of our previous episodes there. Well over 50 now, which is super cool. And there you can see different topics we've covered. They're all time-stamped with details written in the descriptions. Awesome. With that out of the way, let's bring on our co-host, Tyler Wall.
What's up, Max? What's up, viewers? Welcome to another episode, Tuesday Tips and Tricks. And happy Tuesday. We're already almost halfway through May. It's time's flying. Yeah,
this summer is nearly upon us. And I think everybody's just in high spirits about it. A lot of vacations and stuff planned, and hopefully you're documenting all that on video.
Definitely, yeah. Get your summer plans ready and maybe plan a video for one of your vacations. Hopefully we start opening up again soon, so we shall see.
Yeah, to all our viewers who are just trickling in right now, let us know in the chat where you're from. If you have any questions, let us know. If it's prevalent to what we're covering at hand, we'll get to it right away. If it's kind of unrelated, we'll get to it towards the end of the show. But as always, we do rely on your questions and feedback to fuel additional topics and subjects for Tuesday Tips episodes going forward. So any recommendations or questions you have, we are delighted to answer. Awesome.
Yeah, fire off those questions. All right, so today we're going to be going over a video conference or Zoom call, a popular app used to, do these conferences. And this is something that we've seen, especially in the past year, a lot more working remotely. So we have to rely on, virtual meetings. This can be something that we want to spice up a little bit, add more details to, titles. And we're going to show you how to do that today in WeVideo. So let's go ahead and hop into the timeline. All right. So in WeVideo today, we have an excerpt from the podcast, the Deeper Learning Podcast with Nathan Lang-Rad. This was last week's episode. We're actually doing these live as well. So tune into those if you haven't.
And these are all on video now too, correct, Tyler? Didn't always used to be that way?
Yeah, last week we did our first video version of this. So definitely check that out, especially if you're in the education field. These are all, around education. So discussions that Nathan has with different guests. Very informative. And we're going to be using this to demo today.
Awesome.
So for our purposes, we actually use an application called StreamYard. You may use Zoom. That's a very popular one. There's also Google Hangouts. Blue Jeans, I think, is another example.
Yeah.
But all these applications basically do the same thing, right? They allow us to do a video conference with multiple people. Sometimes it can be up to 40, 50. We've had a couple company meetings with quite a few people on them. So we're just going to go over kind of the workflow that you would go about to get some of these into WeVideo and then how we can customize them. So most of these applications actually allow you to record, Zoom being one of them. So you can record your conversation within the application. if you run into a situation where the application you're using does not allow this, we could actually use the record tool within WeVideo to record that screen. So real quick, let's just go over that. So you're going to hit this record button up here when you're in your timeline, and then you would select screen. And then this is going to allow me to select my microphone, the screen I'm recording. It could be a window or Chrome tab. So you would select StreamYard in this case, or Zoom, depending on which application you're using. And then just go ahead and click share. That would give you a countdown and then start recording. So that's one way to go about kind of bypassing the application you're using to get the conference or video call recorded using WeVideo.
Yeah.
Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think we have any questions yet, but one thing I did want to point out, which we've had people ask in the past, is when you're doing that screen recording and you do select a mic, one thing to point out is that if you've got audio that's coming from your computer that you're trying to pick up, it's picked up through the mic. Yeah. So if you're wearing headphones and all of that audio is coming into your headphones, your mic isn't going to pick it up.
Right. You're only going to be recording your own mic, so you would not get, what is coming through that application. So that's a very important point. And I guess you could take it even a step further. Let's say this is a really important conference call and you want to ensure that the audio coming in from both sides is very clear. We can run into problems with internet speeds, lagginess. Sometimes it's happened on our show as well. We'll get out of sync or become a little laggy for viewers. So if you want to make sure that you're really getting that audio, because audio is very important for this, I think, probably almost more important than video, especially for like a podcast scenario.
Yeah.
A way you could go about doing that is just set up a recorder, maybe an outside recorder of you and the person you're having a conversation with. Get that audio separate. As you can see here, we did that. So I have an extra audio track down here. And then just sync that up in the post in WeVideo when you're editing. So that is an option. But for the most part, if you both have mics like Max and I do within the conference call, and you select those when you're recording your conference call, it should be good audio.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's say you went about all your business, recorded your conference call, brought it into WeVideo, and now you want to make some customizations. Let's start doing that. Oh, let's give it a chance to catch up here. All right. So you can see we've got this two-shot of Nathan and Tim, his guest. And one of the things that we like to do when we have these type of setups is go into a one-shot. So maybe just highlight the person who's actually talking. In this case, it would be Nathan. He's about to ask his question. So we can actually cut this track using S on our keyboard to split, or by clicking this scissor icon here on our playhead. And let's just make sure that we get the entirety of his question. So right about there, I think, is his question ends. Cut that track. Be sure you're selected. Okay, let's double click into our clip editor. And then we can do what should we do, an animation or just a scale? What do you think, Max?
We do like a really quick scale animation. Yeah.
Let's try it. All right, so we're starting here in our animation tab. This is our two shot, so this will be our starting point. And then our end point, we want to zoom in to just Nathan. He's asking the question. Oop. Okay, WeVideo's being a little non-responsive for me.
There we go.
All right. Let's see if having a little problem with our position. It's okay. We can just use the X coordinates. Let's try to. Interesting. All right, I've not run into this problem before, so bear with us. All right, so this should allow me to move my position. I think we ran into some sort of bug, but that's all right. We've got a ballpark of what we want to see. I would probably move this over slightly to the right, just so that it's focused solely on Nathan, but we got the point. So start here, end here. I'll save those changes. Then we can take this animation. We want it to be really quick. So I'm actually going to cut this clip again. Right there. And then I'm going to remove the animation from this one.
There we go.
All right, so that would animate in. We can make this quicker even. I think I used the wrong coordinate here. There we go. Okay, now my position's working.
Nice.
All right, so you just play around with, making this animation as quick as you want. Probably even quicker. You can use the zoom tool to move in. And now we have this custom animation going directly to Nathan for his question.
Nice.
So you could just do jump cuts if that's easier for you. As you can see here, when we cut back to this two shot, that works too, right? We don't necessarily need that animation. It's just an added extra feature that you can achieve using WeVideo.
Yeah, no, the idea of this is to just show the options available.
Right.
Provide some kind of inspirational tips here.
Cool. And you can see applications like StreamYard actually allow you to do this, as you saw there. So there are ways to go about this ahead of time. But the nice thing about WeVideo is we can also add in text after we've recorded something. So let's say Nathan was presenting something on a screen. I think a lot of times we have meetings like this, right, where we have we're going over a slide deck, and maybe you want to add in some text to add some context to one of those slides after the fact. So we can use these motion titles, we can use static text, and just like we would before, just drag that in. So I could adjust this here in my text edit tab. We could add the question that Nathan just asked, and that would give us some context. You can customize the font, the color, and then we would save those changes.
Yeah. Another kind of cool thing or reason to export a recorded interview like this and then edit in WeVideo is if, let's say, Nathan was sharing his screen and decided to share a video, rather than hearing that kind of through his preview during the recording, you're better off basically putting that in natively through a video editor app like WeVideo. Does that make sense, Tyler?
I think so. So you're saying
so I mean, if you're recording the audio, obviously you're going to hear Nathan's audio clearly because he's recording on our end. But
right.
if you were to share his screen and that audio from the video that he's sharing is now coming out of his computer and then back in through his mic. The audio is not going to be as good as if it was coming directly from the source.
Right, I hear what you're
So
saying.
you could just input the video directly.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say Nathan shared his screen and he wanted to share a video of an educational, morning announcement or something that he created for a classroom. That video might have bad audio on the conference call, but what he could do is just go into his media folder, find the video he'd already created, and then drag that directly into these aren't great examples, some dancing. But he could drag those videos directly over top and then maintain that good audio that you would have from this video.
Exactly.
Or we could just change the guest to Max. That's another option here.
This is actually something that we do when we do a Tuesday Tips guest interview recording.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So if you've watched any of those with Karen Carr or Mark Saunders, just name a couple of our real estate folks, and they've shared videos, we'll actually ask for them to send us those original MP4 files, and then we'll put them in rather than having them play through the recording.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
quality improves that way.
Right. I think the overall point we're trying to make is you have a lot more flexibility after the fact to improve the quality of your video, make it easier for it to be digested by your viewer. When you do things live, things mess up, like the position tool doesn't work when we're trying to demo it, or we stutter on our words. So when we bring this in after the fact, it's going to let us polish out those mistakes and really improve anything that we can within WeVideo itself.
Yeah, John Langfield just commented, I mute my computer's notification messages before the recording screen video. This is a must.
Great point.
Often gets forgotten. Excuse me. There's definitely been times when I've forgotten to mute my Slack, for instance, during Tuesday Tips. But that's a good thing. Kind of one of the steps to remember, especially if you're doing a recording.
Right. Put your phone in airplane mode, turn off notifications. A lot of things can go wrong, especially when it's live. But again, hopefully bringing this in will let us fix some of those mistakes and really turn this into a masterpiece.
You could also do like a picture-in-picture effect. That's what Patrick had just suggested, which is something you can't really do. I guess it depends. You can kind of do it through Google Hangouts, but if you want to show just in the background where Nathan, if he was mentioning maybe our Creator Summit or previous podcast episode, you could throw up that graphic in the background.
Definitely. And the crop tool within WeVideo lets you adjust a lot of that picture-in-picture. So I could take this shot of Nathan, crop it. Let's see if our crop tool works today. All right. There we go. You know what? Maybe I'm just zoomed in a lot on my browser. It could be the problem here. Yeah, so you could use your crop tool and take one of these sections, one of the speakers, crop him, and then that allows you to really do this picture-in-picture much more effectively. So we could even play around with adjusting the picture-in-picture like this. So instead of that two-shot we had, I can, in post, put Nathan up in the corner. So the possibilities are really endless. It's just up to your creativity of what you want with one of these conference calls. doesn't look like we're getting many questions today. If you guys are tuning in, feel free to fire off some questions you have. It can be regarding WeVideo in any way, and we'll try and answer those.
Yeah, and this is probably also a good time to kind of point out what's coming up in our next few episodes here. We've got some exciting guests coming on within the next few weeks. Kind of two different subjects. We're finally getting our first person who video gaming recorder, or YouTube gamer, I guess is what you call it.
Yeah, gamer, I think.
We're wanting to get getting a streamer on here for a while now. We're finally getting our chance. And then we'll also be doing a fun episode on specifically selling with video, and I'll keep that guest a secret till we have that set in stone. But a couple big names coming ahead.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
Awesome. Well, if we don't have any more questions coming in, then I guess we'll see everybody next week.
Yeah, quick one this week, but hopefully that answered some questions if you guys ever came across doing a video like this.
As always. And yeah, if there are any other questions, let us know in the chat, in the Facebook business community, and we can address them either in the comments responding to that or next week's episode. Awesome. Well, I think that's a wrap. Thanks, everyone, for joining us, and we'll see you all next week. Happy creating.
Bye, guys.